Hey guys, welcome back to another Tech Informant video here on the Failures Anonymous channel, bringing you the first update on my Radeon experience. I've had this GPU for 2 months now, and boy, do I have a lot to say already. I'll start off with the good stuff first, all the stuff I like about the AMD Adrenalin software. Then, I'll share the nitty-gritty, grimy details about the issues I encountered with the Adrenalin software for my Radeon card. Let's jump into it. I want to dedicate this first portion of the video to briefly talk about how much I love the Adrenalin software, and then a couple of my nitpicks I have with Adrenalin software. I wanted to go more in depth in this section of the video, but there was just too much to talk about. The videos end up being like 20 minutes long. So I decided that in my next video, I'm going to give an in-depth tour of the Adrenalin software and show all the different features, what they do, and how to use them. For now though, I'm just going to talk about a couple things I really like about the software. As I stated in my previous Tech Informant video, I love that they offer different graphics settings in the app for different playstyles, as well as the built-in manual overclocking. I also do like that they offer a recording/streaming software built into the app, so if I wanted to record or stream to any of my social media platforms without OBS or Streamlabs, I could do that with their app. When I do the Adrenalin tour, I'll record it with their own software to see how good it is. Another thing I do like about their app versus Nvidia's app is that on your home page it shows all the games you've played recently with the amount of hours spent in-game as well as your average frame rate in each game. Which I know is a small detail, but a nice little addition, in my opinion. Now for my nitpicks. There are two things that I don't like about the software, on top of the more major issues I encountered, which I'll discuss later in this video. The first thing is the amount of time it takes for the Adrenalin overlay to pop up versus the Nvidia overlay. When it does load, the overlay seems a bit delayed and sometimes a little laggy when trying to navigate through it. My second gripe is with the manual overclock feature. Third-party apps like MSI Afterburner, used to overclock Nvidia GPUs, has a save profile feature where you can save different overclock profiles, and with one click you can switch back and forth between them all. Whereas with Adrenalin, you can't save a profile. You only get saved presets built into the app. Like I said, these are more nitpicks than real downsides, but something I thought I should mention. One issue I'd also like to point out is that I've noticed in the past couple weeks that in Jedi Fallen Order I do notice some intermittent frame drops while playing. It's not a major deal to me since the game is still playable. It's not dropping down any further than maybe 98 FPS, so I've been able to live with it. Although I'll let you guys know if I come across a fix for it. Now, let's get to the part that all the Nvidia fanboys were waiting for. One of the primary issues I encountered was with Radeon driver version 24.12.1. It came to the point where no matter what I tried, my games would crash due to a driver timeout every 30 minutes. Using my PC normally, I didn't have an issue. It was only when trying to run games. I tried using DDU to do a fresh install of the driver and it still had issues. I then looked into rolling back the drivers to version 23.12.1, which seemed to help in a lot of my games. However, there were certain games that I was still experiencing issues with, like Split Fiction, Helldivers 2, and Doom 2016. Not sure what to do at that point, I almost gave up on the challenge and began writing a script for why I'm going back to Nvidia. But I stopped myself. I felt that I really didn't give the Radeon a fair chance. And considering every driver has its issues, which I've even had issues with Nvidia in the past, which I was able to figure out with my walnut-sized brain. So I decided to wait for an update to come out, and now I am currently on driver version 25.6.1. What I found after receiving this update, it was only one game that would consistently crash Adrenalin every time I tried to run it. Doom 2016 had a weird issue where the game would black out immediately upon launching it, and Adrenalin would crash due to driver timeout error. After each crash, I had to go in and add my overclock settings all over again, since it kept putting it back to default. Then, I went back and watched some guides on how to overclock with Adrenaline just to make sure I set my overclock settings to something that was stable, and I even went as far as to double check it by running stability tests in 3D Mark like Steel Nomad, and even trying to play games for a couple hours with several different overclock settings enabled to see if I ran into any issues. The Radeon software handled all of these just fine with no crashes whatsoever. However, no matter what I did, Doom 2016 would still not run with these settings I had enabled. After spending several hours pulling my hair out and starting to contemplate my existence, I decided to try something different. I decided that I would try and run the game without any overclocking whatsoever, so strictly how it was designed to run from factory. Sure enough, when I attempted to run the game, it worked perfectly fine with no issues. Then, I ran the game without messing with fan curves or voltage reductions, and it seemed to work good. So I decided to leave my overclock with just these settings altered. It does suck that I can't get the most performance and efficiency out of my card, which is a win for Nvidia. However, the card without these overclock settings is capable of running my games at decent FPS on higher settings, so I'm not too worried about it. It does come with a slight overclock from Asus already, as well, which does help. I am still on the fence about Radeon. As prices have gone up for their 9000 series cards, I wonder if picking between an Nvidia 50 series or a Radeon 9000 series card is going to come down to just plain personal preference. Both sides have their ups and downs. My experience so far has been great without a doubt, even this recent rough patch. My Radeon card is still going strong, and still packs a lot of performance for the price, and I'm not going to give up on it just yet. Thank you all for watching. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to Fails Anonymous for future Tech Informant videos about my experience with Radeon. See you later.